Specific to Kashmir, I mean broader, as far as our Pakistan's call for dialogue and diplomacy in pursuit of peace, and encompassing many topics, including terrorism, including Kashmir, including water, I found receptiveness to that. But I wouldn't, as far as the hurdles we face within the UN and in general as far as the Kashmir cause is concerned, that still exists. Another topic that we have been emphasizing is obviously the issue of terrorism. As you're well aware, we've come here to the United Nations with dossier after dossier about Indian involvement in supporting terrorist proxies in Pakistan. The Indian government in the Sharm el-Sheikh communique are on record that they supported terrorism, terrorist groups in Balochistan. Their officer, Kulbhushan Yadav, is in our custody since 2017, who's also admitted to supporting these groups. And it is important for Pakistan that India ceases such activity. We feel we've demonstrated through the FATF process that Pakistan has taken necessary actions against all groups within our territory. We continue to face challenges up until this day, but we're combating terrorism on all fronts. The Indian side has not shown any willingness to engage in addressing Pakistan's concerns vis-a-vis terrorism. And Iftikhar Sahab, aapko to maloom hai that just before we arrived here, there was a terrorist attack in Balochistan targeting a school bus, which resulted in the loss of lives of innocent children. This is a day-to-day activity with us. If you compare in quantum terms the number of terrorist attacks that take place in India and Pakistan, unfortunately there are more terrorist attacks that take place in Pakistan than they do in India. If you compare the number of victims to terrorism, both in Pakistan and in India, there are more Pakistanis that are killed by terrorists than Indians that are killed by terrorists. But ultimately the fact of the matter is, above and beyond this accusation and counter-accusation and this finger-pointing, which actually will be more effective, would be if Pakistan and India were to work together to combat terrorism. I am completely confident that if ISI and RAW sat down and worked together to fight these forces, we would see a significant decrease in terrorism both within India and Pakistan. At the moment, Pakistan is willing to put all cards on the table. We're saying, let's talk about terrorism. Let's talk about Kashmir. Let's talk about water. Let's make peace. We're not shying away from any investigation, in fact, despite having no legal obligation under international law. We presented ourselves for international accountability because of the confidence we had that our hands were clean. There's only one country that is running away from dialogue, running away from an investigation, refusing to accept international law, refusing to accept the UN Charter. So either we decide that the UN Charter doesn't apply, international law doesn't apply, and therefore it no longer applies to Pakistan and it no longer applies to India, and we'll do as we might. Or those of us who do believe in international law will continue to insist that no, we will abide by this international law, but all parties must also abide by this international law, whether it comes to the issue of Kashmir, whether it comes to the issue of terrorism, and most recently and importantly, whether it comes to the issue of the Indus Water Treaty. Thank you, everybody, for all your questions, and I hope I...
Thank you so much.
Jaldi.
I'm from Sunan News, Pakistan. My question is, Pakistan is apparently a victim in terrorism. So TTP is a very active region, and apparently India is supporting TTP. Is there, we raise the voice and the world can listen our voice to support us in this terrorism against these terrorist groups, especially in TTP?
Both groups, the TTP, the PLA, and other such terrorist groups, Pakistan has their complaints about the cross-border support from various neighbors. We've presented this proof before this forum and other forums. We haven't shied away from combating these forces within our country, but ultimately, it is important for us to work with our neighbors to ensure that we cut off this support, that terrorism is not used as a tool of Indian foreign policy. It's something that everybody has to understand, that if they think that they can fund some terrorist group today to kill some Sikh activists, tomorrow those very groups will form a problem for them. It's not possible that a non-state actor somewhere is a terrorist and the very same group is your ally in another context. The international community as a whole has to agree that this ambiguous policy as far as non-state actors are concerned, and the inconsistency as far as our policies vis-a-vis terrorism is concerned, needs to be addressed. Pakistan has been a very responsible partner in the fight against terrorism. We've suffered in the fight against terrorism. We've learned and grown as a result of our combat experience with these terrorists. We've learned our lessons. It's now time for the world to learn theirs. Thank you.